Dr. Woodcock, I have a report here that from Tufts University, their Center for the Study of Drug Development, and it's dated November of 2014. It says that cost to develop and win marketing approval for a new drug is $2.6 billion, and average out-of-pocket cost is $1.395 million. What do you say? What do you say about that? $2.6 billion, and it says it takes an average of 10 years to get a drug to market. What do you have to say about that? Is that any place close to being accurate?
Well, the economics community has various estimates of these costs. So those costs are in dispute, but it is agreed that it costs a great deal of money, and it takes a long time to get an innovative drug to the market. Some of the recent advances in science are shortening this time frame for targeted therapies and breakthrough therapies. However, in general, though, that time frame is accurate, and it does take a large investment to first find and then develop a new drug.
Don't you see that if a small company or an individual comes up with some miraculous drug, that they would be forced to sell out to some big drug giant to get a drug to market with those kinds of costs? That's what many people think has led to this over-consolidation of the drug business, how it's ended up in the hands of a few big giants.
Well, the industry is changing rapidly because of the new science. Last year, we approved a large proportion of our new drugs were orphans, and a number of them came from small companies. So it is doable. And the drug development paradigm is in flux because of the new scientific findings.
Mr. Mayor, what do you say about that?
Well, as Dr. Woodcock says, the market has been changing toward more specialized drugs that are developed differently and marketed differently than drugs traditionally have been. I know from our perspective, we know the best way to get costs down is through competition. So the more products we can get on the market, the faster we can get them on the market, whether they're competing Me Too brands or generic competitors, the better it is for consumers and the employers, unions, and government programs that we serve.
We all believe that there should be some testing to make sure that drugs are safe, but you can go ridiculously overboard on anything, and it seems to me that when it's taking 10 or 12 years to get a drug to market and it's costing $2.6 billion, as the Tufts study says, that's going a little bit overboard. Mr. Schiller, I have a very detailed letter from one of my constituents that I would like to place in the record, but she sends to me her cost of a drug that your company put out, Aplazin, and her costs went for 30 pills in December of 2013, a total cost, annual cost of $13,566. Cost per pill was $37. Less than 2 years later, the cost for the same pills had gone to $106.74, a 224% increase in 2 years' time. And also, I have a letter from another individual, a state representative in Tennessee, that says that the average pharmaceutical company averages spending over 20% on research and development, but that your company averages less than 3%. What do you say about this 224% increase in less than 2 years' time and the 3% on research and development?
Sure. When we price our drugs, we try and take into account the clinical value, the alternative therapies, patient access, among other factors. It is not an exact science. In a number of cases, we have been too aggressive. We're also trying to manage a bottom line to be able to invest in our research and development pipeline and to make the investments in expanding our manufacturing. I mentioned Rochester, New York, where we're going to put another $500 million to increase the capacity in that facility, as well as patient access. And patient.
Well, my time's running out. Let me just add that I think you need to much more to hold down these costs. But I would like to also say that in all my time in Congress, I've served on 4 committees, been here 28 years. I've seen hundreds of witnesses and some very heated confrontations. I have never seen, as Mr. Scarelli a while ago, such childish, smart alecky smirks, even turning away from Ranking Member Cummings to pose for pictures while the ranking member was speaking, and I think it just was totally ridiculous. I can tell you this, his lawyer better advise him a little bit, because a jury would love to convict somebody if he acts that same way while he's on trial. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.